Good morning and welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. Good to have you with us on this Wednesday. Can you believe it's already Wednesday? Already halfway through a very short work week. Good to have you with us. Beautiful morning out there. I know one person who's probably been out already to enjoy the weather. Dr. Amy Tan joining me as my co-host. You've been out running, haven't you?
I have. It is lovely out there today. Let's keep it rolling.
I know it was like, 73 degrees this morning. Haven't seen that temperature in it seems like years.
It feels like years. I still feel a little scorched from the 90s.
Yeah. I can relate because it seemed like for all summer long, it was like 100 degrees every day, but it's nice to have it when it's like this. And they say, Amy, next week it could be in the 60s.
Oh, my fingers are crossed. I'm really hoping for that.
We're hoping for that. All right. One thing that's certain is we're live every morning on Facebook and YouTube at 10 a.m. Just about every morning when HCC is in session. We thank all of you for joining us live. And Amy, they can also find us in social media and on HCCTV.
That's correct. You're going to want to look for us at Houston Community College District, not HCC. On Facebook, our Facebook page and on YouTube. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and HCCTV at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Okay, Amy, stick around because you'll be talking with this next guest. It's Gaming Wednesday, and we're going to talk about child's play, literally with an organization that uses video games to improve the lives of children in hospitals around the world. Joining me now, Travis Eriksen. Good to see you, Travis.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. And I'm looking forward to chatting with Amy a little bit later here.
All right. We're looking forward to having you. So stick around. We'll be with you in about 10 minutes. Okay. We're going to focus on one of our centers of excellence right now. Kimberly Cade is the marketing and program coordinator for the Business Center of Excellence. Welcome back, Kimberly. Good to see you. Well, if we can get you to unmute your mic.
Good morning. Happy to see you too. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years, hasn't it?
It's been a couple of years, pre-pandemic.
That's wow. It's hard to imagine life before the pandemic, huh?
I know.
Before we get into HCC's offerings, let's go back with some reasons why our students might choose marketing as a career. What does our marketing offer students and the business community?
Marketing is such a dynamic discipline. Every business and organization utilizes marketing. You see it in the military, you see it in corporations, you see it in small businesses, and even nonprofit organizations. Basically, marketing serves as a vehicle to let the public know about who you are and the services you provide or products that you sell. And as you know, again, the sales part of that and the advertising part of that, the promotions part of that is what we know to be marketing.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's what we're familiar with here, especially in the communications department. But communications is just one part of that uses marketing. There are a lot of marketing opportunities out there as well, right?
Sure, absolutely. If you think about some of the marketing jobs or titles that you're familiar with, of course, a salesperson, we know that retail, customer service, digital marketing, social media marketing, which are some of the up and coming and new aspects of marketing. As I mentioned, public relations and promotions, and then market research is another area that some people don't necessarily think about, but has a very, very strong opportunities for students or people who are seeking jobs in that area.
If someone is looking to get into marketing as a college career and then get out into it, and they want to go the 2-year route, then possibly transfer or maybe not transfer to another college university, where do they start at HCC and what courses are offered here?
Okay, well, you would start, we do have a 2-year general marketing award. It's an AAS, Associate's Degree in Marketing. And in that degree, of course, the students would take their basic courses that they would have to take, of course, their English and their math and those types of things. But some of the marketing classes they would take as a part of that would be, again, principles of marketing. They would take consumer behavior. They would take market research, advertising, and also some of the classes that we focus on, things like, well, I mentioned consumer behavior, but students would get that good foundation that they would need to go out, as you said, either transfer to another college or university, or if students want to then go into the workplace, because with the associate's degree, they are workplace ready. This is a workforce program, the marketing degree is, and we're training those students to go into the workplace after they get that award.
I was a communications major back in college, but maybe I can bring Amy into the conversation here. I do feel though, having a communications background, I worked in communications, worked as a journalist, but I feel like it's more important than ever to have a marketing background hand in hand with communications. Amy, would you agree with that as well?
I think whatever experience you can get in marketing on the education side is going to help you no matter what field you go into. And certainly, when we think about going into the market today, I think people are looking for that interdisciplinary, right? Yep. They're looking for that.
Right.
Yes, they are.
And Kimberly, the jobs themselves, you mentioned a few of them, but obviously you're going to start at an entry-level job when you get out into your field, whether it's communications marketing or just marketing. What are the type of jobs that they may be looking for to get started?
Well, it's interesting that you asked that question. There are some students who at the community college level, of course, who are already working. Many of them are already in opportunities and in careers, and they're wanting to get that extra edge. In addition to our associate's degree, we offer certificates. We offer a certificate, general certificate in marketing. We offer one in retailing, one in social enterprise. And we have a brand new award that I'll talk about a little today about the Occupational Skills Award in sales. Some of the students don't realize when they start in a career in marketing that there's so many facets that you could go into. We mentioned social media as well. And some of them who are doing the online businesses and such, they need those marketing skills. As would someone in another discipline, cosmetology, our electricians who may have their own businesses, our welders, and they need marketing skills to promote their businesses.
And the participants, they're going to learn these marketing skills through the curriculum and coursework?
They would learn that in the curriculum and coursework. One track, like I said, the associate's degree, if they want a 2-year degree, if they want the 1-year certificate option. And this new Sales Occupational Skills Award is strictly a 9-credit-hour award. It will give students an edge who are going into the workplace that are looking at jobs like customer service. We saw during the pandemic how essential the retailing environment is. Yeah. And we're not just talking about the brick and mortar retail. We're talking about also online retail jobs as well as online sales jobs where the sky is the limit as far as the salaries that you can make. If you are a business owner, whether it's a small mom and pop business, you may be a nonprofit, having the skills to market your business is absolutely necessary. You'd have to have that.
You mentioned something very important because I've had many friends who've started businesses and they have the money behind it. They have the ideas of what they want to sell, how they want to do it. They have a great product, but they just can't get the marketing right. Maybe the social media marketing just isn't right, or they're not getting the testimonials. They're not getting word of mouth, and the business fails because they don't have the marketing background.
Absolutely. And so it is critical to get that skill. And again, this new Occupational Skills Award, 9 credit hours, you will take classes. The 3 classes that you will take will be Principles of Marketing, Principles of Selling, and Principles of Retailing, which gives you a wonderful foundation for doing exactly what you described, Todd, with a small business, identifying the need for marketing, even just knowing when to go out and hire a firm. And then some of this you can do yourself.
If someone doesn't have their own business and they're looking to get a marketing degree and just get a job, do you have job placement or partners that you can work with to get them leads?
Well, yes, we do. We have, of course, here at the college, the Career Services Office, and they have been wonderful as far as giving opportunities to our students. They're already registered. Students are already registered with them. They can go to Career Services and polish up their resumes, and there is just a plethora of job opportunities out there for students who are seeking either part-time or full-time employment while in school or upon graduation. We work very closely with them.
if someone is looking to enroll, I know we've already started the fall semester, but do you have shortened courses that they can still sign up for? And obviously they can sign up for the spring when that registration's open.
One of the beauties of working for a community college or attending classes at a community college is that our classes are offered at 16 weeks, 8 weeks, 5-week classes. We offer them face-to-face. We offer 100% online, or even the hybrid where they can go to school or sit in the classroom one day and do the rest of their work online. So if a student is interested in getting a marketing award, we have so many opportunities for them to do that. So it is not too late to sign up. We have plenty of fall classes that are still opening up. We've got the second start, and we've got the 8-week and 5-week classes coming up. So come on, sign up.
Now's the time to sign up. Kimberly Cade, Marketing Program Coordinator for the Business Center of Excellence. Thank you for being here. Good to see you again. Let's not wait 2 years next time, okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to everyone. Have a great day.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Kimberly. We're going to have all the information on our marketing program and some links in our social media post after the show. All right, Amy, take it away. You're going to be talking about Child's Play.
Yes. Turning to Travis Eriksen, Executive Director of Child's Play. Again, for Gaming Wednesday, we're taking a different spin on digital gaming by welcoming this game industry charity dedicated to providing video games to more than 185 hospitals worldwide, including our own Texas Children's Hospital. Welcome, Travis.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
We're thrilled that you're here. Tell us about Child's Play and the reaction you got when people were saying video games were quote unquote bad.
So Child's Play has been around since 2003. And at that time, it was one of the pushes where video games were in the news. If gamers or game companies were in the news, they were in the news with a negative light. So people were looking at games and saying, these don't have any redeeming qualities, and the people who play them are just pulling society down. And that was not something that our founders felt like reflected them or reflected the community that they support. They had been running for plenty of years prior, a website that was just in video game culture and in that world. And so they invited their fans to send toys into Seattle Children's, or send toys to them so that they could deliver it to Seattle Children's, essentially to force the news to have to put out a story about gamers doing a really good thing. And the response was larger than they expected. They had well over $250,000, almost $500,000 worth of toys donated in about 2 weeks, made the delivery to Seattle Children's Hospitals, and then said, this was a stunt, but the community has really stepped up, and this is something we need to continue doing. And at this point now, like you said, we're in nearly 200 children's hospitals all across the world and getting games and technology into there, but also teaching staff how to use games and technology as an intentional part of therapy.
Wow. So 2 weeks, you got over $250 million worth of gaming.
Yeah, $250,000. Yeah, just over $250,000.
Wow.
But yeah.
That's crazy. So tell us some more about how you grew your hospital network.
So Child's Play started with just getting hospitals connected. And at the time in 2003 and moving forward, really for the first about 10 years, our focus was on getting games and technology in. And so we had people who were fans of Child's Play or had potentially been at a hospital who was a Child's Play partner, invite hospitals to join. And so we've had this continually growing list of hospitals. And our support at that time really focused on getting Xboxes and iPads and Game Boys and PlayStations into the hospital and getting them games. And in 2016, one of the things we started doing was we noticed that when we did a visit to a hospital, that the technology was no longer the limiting factor. That was an available thing now, where back in 2003, it was not as readily available inside the hospital. But what was really missing was the understanding of how games could be used as a targeted piece of therapy. So how games could help address anxiety or help address sadness, help address pain. And we knew that we had this unique opportunity of being associated and in with all of these hospitals that we could share that. So we worked with mental health researchers at UCSD and then a company that is currently NPD, but at the time was called EDAR, but they're a market research firm that looks and breaks down games into all of their components. And so they helped us create a therapeutic video game guide that was one of the first tools that we gave to hospitals that gave suggested games and components inside games to help address these different symptoms. And we actually have the guide online now. So if you go to gametherapy.org, it's an online searchable database where you can look at it and you can say, okay, I have some anxiety right now and I own an Xbox. What would be a great game to play? And so this tool really helped the child life therapists that our focus is on supporting understand the games to use when they did have a kid who was potentially anxious about an upcoming surgery, and how the games that can help address anxiety, they're these kind of open world, we like to call them they're called sandbox in the video game world, but open world games without timers and calm music, and just you get to go explore and do your thing. Minecraft in creative mode is a really good example of that, and how that game can help just lower anxiety. But a game like Mario Kart that has lots of action and fun music and bright colors and stuff always happening, it's a great game to help address pain. Your brain gets very distracted while playing a game like that, but that kind of game can actually help build up some of that anxiety if you're playing it before or while something is making you anxious. So giving them those tools to really look at and then say, oh, okay, here's a kid, here's a game that you want to play. Let's use this.
And gametherapy.org is really a resource for health service providers, parents, family.
Yeah, anybody
themselves.
Yeah, anybody who wants a tool to help them get some game suggestions over some of those different symptoms that they're dealing with. So we have in there, like I said, pain and sadness and anxiety. We have cognitive impairment. And then we have two that are kind of hospital specific. We have a short-term and a long-term boredom. But those are really to help hospitals understand what's an appropriate game to have in a waiting room, so that when a child comes in, they can pick up a game, they can play it, but it's also a game that's really easy to kind of step away from when your name gets called and it's time to go back and talk to the doctor, versus those long-term games for a child who might be in the hospital for weeks or months on it.
And so these are not necessarily, you're not necessarily creating games. These are games that already exist in the market.
Yeah, Child's Play we're not in the business of creating games or even picking games. This is us just creating this tool and list to say, here are games on the Xbox, games on the iPad, games on the Nintendo Switch, all these current systems. Here are games that you can look at that will help address these different symptoms.
And you talk a little bit about the difference between passive giving and active support. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so really for the first 10 years or so, 13 years, Child's Play was passive in that we gave the technology and the game systems out, but that was really the extent of what we did. And when we started doing those hospital visits in 2016 and noticed that that technology wasn't that limit anymore, it was the knowledge on how to use it. We realized that we could really take a much more active role in this space of games and games used inside healthcare. And so created things like the guide. We really worked on becoming a connected hub so that as hospitals were doing and figuring out how they were using games and technology differently in their space, we could share that with other hospitals, because children's hospitals have associations where they're connected, but very often it's, one or two people inside a hospital doing something doesn't necessarily make it out to the broader children's hospital world. So we've really worked to be that connected point, and also be someone that they could turn to when they had a question about how to use technology, or what do we do? Someone just donated us a 3D printer and it's been sitting in a box. We don't really know how to get started with it. Well, we want Child's Play to be a place that they can turn to and say, okay, Child's Play, we just got this. What are people doing with these? How do we put them to work? So we've really tried to take in that active role. And one of the things that we're really excited and proud of is that in 2017, we started funding pediatric gaming and technology specialist positions. So these are roles inside the hospital who is there to help push forward the use of technology. They're working with the child life, they're working with the doctors and therapists, and figuring out how to use things like virtual reality, augmented reality, just regular game systems to not only engage kids and make the hospital just feel more welcoming, but also how to integrate that into the process of care.
And really quickly, can you tell me the 3 pillars of support for hospitals?
Yeah, so all of our network hospitals, the main pillar that we have is we do an annual gift to them. So over the course of the year, we get donations from game companies and things like that. So we send those out to our partner hospitals, but we also send a check in support of their child life department with a focus on games and technology. And it's to help them do things like replace the iPad that got knocked off the counter. That's kind of hard to get written back into the budget because people weren't planning on replacing that iPad, or just refresh their game library with new games that come out. So that's that annual gift. And then we have 2 grant cycles. Our first grant cycle is a capacity building cycle where we've funded these gaming and technology specialists inside hospitals. So looking at helping start these roles, covering them for kind of 2 years to get this roll up off the ground, to collect the data they need to show that it's really effective and having an impact in the hospital. And then an entire support structure built around them as this entirely new career inside a children's hospital is being created. And then our last support is just a grant period where we do equipment grants that is a chance for them to update equipment and potentially do things like, if they're opening a brand new team room, reach out to Child's Play and say, we just want to open this with the newest and greatest in gaming and tech. Child's Play can help us put this in.
Wonderful. Well, we really appreciate your joining us today and telling us about Child's Play, Travis.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. It's an honor to be here.
So thank you again, Travis Eriksen, Executive Director of Child's Play. We'll have some links and additional information in the post after the show, and you can find out how to support Child's Play and the work that Travis is doing right here at Texas Children's Hospital.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Travis and Amy. We've got a few announcements to get through before we wrap up today's show. Let's rodeo. Congratulations, HCC. HCC is among 7 local colleges awarded $200,000 in vocational scholarships from the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo for the 2022-2023 academic year. As there continues to be a strong demand for vocational skills, we believe it's important to support these Houston area colleges as they prepare these students for a career in specialized fields. That quote comes from Chris Boleman, and Chris is the rodeo president and CEO. So congratulations to HCC. Hey, and the Mattress Max School of Selling is underway, Amy.
And this fits right in with our marketing program and that certificate. HCC Northwest Mattress Max School of Selling and Work Texas is now offering an expanded on-site program that includes Jim McInvale's successful customer service training, 6 to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursdays through September 27th at Gallery Furniture. We'll have more info in our post after the show to register.
Okay, check this out. Piano Masterclass, Dr. Diego I believe it's Catano. We're going to go with that. He's a world-renowned pianist, professor at Sam Houston State University. He will lead a master class for HCC piano students from 2 to 4 p.m. Friday, September 30th at the Stafford Fine Arts Center. That's across from our Stafford campus. The class is free and registration's not necessary, but we'll have an email and a link in our post after the show. Okay, a faculty exhibition is coming up. Fuzzy Was the Feeling is the title.
It's works by Professor Erika Whitney G, who is presenting an exhibition of multimedia artworks through October 28th. It's free at HCC Northeast, the Northline Gallery. Registration is not required for this event, and everyone is welcome.
Okay, get your degree for free. The Eagle Promise program is back. We have this just about past few years. We've offered this for our students, particularly for graduating high school seniors. HCC's promises to help you earn a degree for free. The HCC Eagle Promise program offers qualifying students money to cover tuition, fees, and books each semester. We'll have the link in our post after the show. You sign up. It's a pretty good deal. Okay, we talked about this earlier, but Amy, fall semester's underway. You got second start, then the sessions get shorter, but you still have to get all the class time in, right?
That's correct. You have to meet all those contact hours. So they're shorter. you're still meeting the same amount. And we have all the same sessions that you would see in the regular term: online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid in person, hybrid lab. And so don't forget to register for any program at HCC on hccs.edu/apply.
Okay, we're going to wrap up today's show, but tomorrow on the show, we're going to talk about math skills with Dean of Mathematics, Timur Sever will return to talk about his Friday night math jams. Phenomenal. They're happening. And other news in the department. And our Thursday family fun guest will feature some classic cars when we visit with the Road to Rosenberg. All right, all that and more tomorrow. And then we've got Film Friday on the way. We're almost through this week, Amy. Can you believe it?
You know, you always look forward to a week with a long weekend, and then all of a sudden it's like, what happened to this week?
What happened? What, I know it goes by really fast. And next thing you know, you're halfway through the week and Friday's almost here. What the heck happened?
Get to work.
Hey, I got a question for you before we wrap up. Are you running that half marathon at the end of October?
I haven't officially signed up, but I am.
What are
training
you waiting for? The price
I know.
It only gets more expensive if you keep waiting. Come on now.
I know it's terrible. I wait to the last minute to sign up. I'm going to go do it today. Are you going to do it?
Oh, absolutely. I'm doing that in the one in January too. I don't do full anymore, just halves. So half marathons.
I got to do 5 more full so I can get my legacy, and then I can retire to halves.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm already retired, so we'll be there. All right. Amy, thanks for being here. We'll see you again next time, right?
Appreciate being here. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow morning live, 10 a.m. for Up to the Minute.
Sometimes what you need just shows up. Houston Community College has your back, whether you're knocking out some basics or upping your game for a better job. Enroll today for spring classes and frame your future with HCC.
How prepared is your family if disaster shows up at your doorstep? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan before they show up. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes!
Make a plan today.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out.
Good night. And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.